and verse number 43.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Before I start, I want to apologize. I was also looking forward to hearing from His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhu on Saturday mornings, like all of you. But I've been asked to speak a few words. Just follow these instructions and speak a few words. It's again verse number 43, chapter number 29. Nabho dadati shvasatam. Nabho dadati shvasatam. Padam yanniyamadada. Padam yanniyamadada. Lokam swadeham tanute. Mahan saptabhir avritam. Nabho dadati shvasatam. Padam yanniyamadadha. Lokam swadeham tanute. Mahan saptabhir avritam. Lokam swadeham tanute. Mahan saptabhir avritam.
Bodhati Swashatam Lokam Swadeham Tante Mahan Shaktabhiravutam
Nabha, the sky. Dadati gives. Shvasatam, to the living entities. Padam, abode. Yat, of whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Niyama, under the control. Ada, that. Lokam, the universe. Swadeham, own body. Tanute, expands. Mahan, the Mahatattva. Saptabhi, with the 7 layers. Avritam, covered. Translation and purport with divine grace. Translation. Subject to the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sky allows outer space to accommodate all planets, which hold innumerable living entities. The total universal body expands with its 7 coverings under his supreme control. Please repeat. Subject to the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sky allows outer space to accommodate all the various planets, which hold innumerable living entities. The total universal body expands with its 7 coverings under his supreme control. Word. It is understood from this verse that all the planets in the outer space are floating and they all hold living entities. The word Shwasatam means those who breathe or living entities. In order to accommodate them, there are innumerable planets. Every planet is a residence for innumerable living entities, and the necessary space is provided in the sky by the supreme order of the Lord. It is also stated here that the total universal body is increasing. It is covered by 7 layers, and as there are 5 elements within the universe, so the total elements in layers cover the outside of the universal body. The first layer is that of earth, and it is 10 times greater in size than the space within the universe. The second layer is water, and that is 10 times greater than the earthly layer. And the third covering is fire, which is 10 times greater than the water covering. In this way, each layer is 10 times greater than the previous one. Okay. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. Again, seeking all of your blessings, each and every one of you here in the audience. I'm seeing way more exalted than me, and I take your association to understand, get some realization on this. So again, begging for your mercy in the spirit of serving the devotees and giving pleasure to the ears of Shri Radha Gopijana Vallabha. I'll try to speak a few words. Actually, a similar theme had been spoken through the week by wonderful devotees. Shamananda Krishna Prabhu on Tuesday, and then we had Rohinandan Prabhu, Divyatirth Prabhu, and Shamkishore Prabhu. Wonderful connections of this with Krishna's pastimes. So, following their footsteps, I heard their classes and tried to follow the same theme. And in this description to Devahuti Maya by Kapiladev, it's described how Krishna is great. Krishna's control is so vast and all-pervasive that all the different planets are in their spaces. They are accommodating all wonderful living entities in this Brahma Anda, in this shell, egg-like shell of this material universe that we are residing in. And what we will cover over the next few minutes, maybe 30, 40 minutes, is we will see what Prabhupada has to say about the same thing, right? We'll go into Prabhupada's experience, how he scientifically explains this and makes even the biggest fool understand, like myself, how this is actually possible in a scientific manner. Then we look at the same verses being the experience of Radhanath Maharaj. Then we look at devotees outside of Vrindavan, how they experience this when they hear about these pastimes of Krishna's opulence. And then we will finally look at Krishna's Vraja devotees, his very dear devotees in Vrindavan, Aradhi Bhagavan, Brajesh Tanaya, Krishna. His mood in Vrindavan, how it is, how he displays this, and how the devotees in Vrindavan react when they hear these beautiful pastimes. And then we will see how the katha unfolds. But Prabhupada, here in the 15th chapter, in the purport, actually describes very nicely. So, what's the use of me describing anything? And Prabhupada has given such beautiful examples. Here, Krishna in the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga, Krishna is describing that Game Vaishyasa Bhutani, Dharayam Aham Ojasa. So, what is Krishna saying? He's saying that I enter into these planets. That just now we heard how these planets are floating in the sky. And by my energy, they stay in orbit. Amazing. Krishna enters into these planets, and by his energy, they're staying in orbits. And Krishna later says that Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha, both externally and internally, I am sustaining all living entities. That's the mercy of Krishna. Here, Prabhupada describes that it is understood that all the planets are floating in the air only by the energy of the Lord. The Lord enters into every atom, every planet, and every living being. That is discussed in Brahma Samhita. It is said here that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, enters into the planets, the universe, the living entities, into every atom. We know that this is Krishna's expansion as Shirodakshai Vishnu. And when the Prabhupada gives an example, right, how we can understand. Prabhupada says that when the spirit soul is there, the living man can float on the water. But when the spirit spark is out of the body is dead and the soul sinks. It's so simple to understand, right? When the spirit spark is there, if we are in the water, we are floating. As soon as it's left, the body is dead, it sinks. Then Prabhupada says that, of course, when the body is decomposed, it floats just like straw and other things. But as soon as the man is dead, when the spirit soul leaves, then the body sinks. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space. And this is due to the entrance of the supreme energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So simple to understand. He says that his energy is sustaining each planet just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust in your hand, then there is no possibility that the dust will fall down. But if one throws it in the air, then it will fall down. Similarly, these planets, just like I'm holding dust, it's staying here. Similarly, if I leave it, it's gone. So similarly, Krishna is holding all these universes in its orbit. It is so logical. Just like dust. It reminded me of Radhanath Maharaj's beautiful pastime when he was in the lower Himalayas. He met this yogi, Bala Shiva yogi. This young person in his 40s, short person, he would be fletching his eyebrows, small stature, and he met Radhanath Maharaj, Richard, when he was there. And he would go doing Madhukari begging with Maharaj. And when he would beg, he would ask, I want only sweets. Maybe he was ISKCON devotee, maybe he'll become ISKCON devotee soon. And Maharaj was little surprised. I've never seen these yogis asking Madhukari only sweets. But Maharaj said, when he would do tapasya, when he would do austerity, he would become like a mountain, so fixed up in his austerity. And for a few days, Maharaj spent with him, and then Maharaj was moving on. He said, no, stay. For one more day, I'm giving a katha. Please be the audience. Maharaj said, this is also very strange. Someone asking, stay for my katha. Maharaj stayed that day and he showed amazing real magic tricks. If we have read the journey home, we know this. How out of his bare hands he manifested a beautiful Shila, a beautiful Shivalinga. And people were seeing out of his own bare hands, he would create ashes, and those ashes covered the whole Shivalinga. And people were amazed. They paid obeisances to him. They considered him to be God. And he stopped them. He said, Stop. This is a siddhi or prapti siddhi. It's a simple material yogic siddhi that I've attained. Don't be fooled by other people who claim to be yogis and say that they are God. Actually, one person in the 80s, he had come to Detroit from Himalayas. He had attained this prapti siddhi. He had gone knocking on the door, door to door to door, and he would ask, who's your Ishtade person? This was right in Detroit, in front of our Dev Southern Mandir area. And one person would say Ganesha. He would create Ganesha of his hands, give it to them. They would take, worship him, give him donation. And later he revealed that he was in Himalayas. He got the siddhis, but he still had material desires. He came to America. And the point is, this yogi told Maharaj and the whole audience that, look, out of my hand, I can create dust, I can create ashes, and it can float in the air for some time. This is only a siddha. I'm a siddha, and this is a siddhi. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead can create innumerable planets that are floating in the air. You need to surrender to that Supreme Lord. And that evening, Maharaj was very happy to get this experience and more happy to see the honesty of this yogi. And later he says that he was sitting and he picked up a small seed and he was saying, wow, in this small seed, Krishna or the Supreme Lord has put a banyan tree. And in each tree there are so many seeds. In a floating cloud, there is so much water to inundate the whole city with torrential rains and to infuse it with floods. This is Krishna. This is his amazing abilities. So that is his experience. And then now, if you look at Arjuna, right, who's listening to Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna first considered Krishna as his friend. And he told Krishna, Senayor Bhayor Madhya Ratham Sthapayame Achyuta, park the chariot in front of the two armies. And later, when he was confused, he accepted Krishna as his guru. And now when Krishna is showing, Krishna is describing this Vibhuti Yoga, his Yoga Aishwarya, of how he is the source. Matta sarva pravartate. How matta parataram na anyat. He is showing all of this. And for the sake of all the other listeners, he is saying, Krishna, please display this Rupa Aishwarya. And Krishna actually displays this Virat Rupa that is described here, this Vishwarupa. How this Brahmanda is covered with 7 layers as it's described. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, bhumi, rapa, nalo, vayu, and ahankara and mahatattva. Each layer being 10 times thicker than the next. And Krishna is describing and showing all his opulences, all the different planetary systems that are floating, all the different demigods. When he's displaying this opulence, what happens to Arjuna? His Sakhya Bhava is reduced to Dasya. He's telling, oh Krishna, Sakheti Matva Prasabam Yaduktam. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. Sakheti Matva, I thought you were my friend. Prasavam Yaduktam, I would call you, oh Krishna, oh Yadav, oh Sakha, Ajanatad, I didn't know, Mahimanam, Tavedam, your amazing opulence. Pramadhena, out of foolishness, what have I done? I would sit with you, I would sleep on your lap, I would jokingly make jokes, not with you, but at you. It's this Mahabharata describes how when Agni Dev was coming before the forest fire happens, and then Krishna and Arjuna fight with all the Devatas. The Krishna was sitting on a beautiful chair, and Arjuna is lying on his lap, and they're having many joking words. And Arjuna is now saying, "Oh Krishna, I'm thinking of all those times," and the joke was not at you, all those jokes were at me because I didn't understand your amazing glory. And this is the reaction of a devotee outside of Vrindavan. And it comes crashing down to the state of Dasya Bhava. And when Devaki sees Krishna for the first time after so many years, she had picked up Krishna, she was feeding Krishna breast milk, and Vasudeva had to take Krishna across Yamuna to Gokul Mahavan. And now she's waiting for Krishna. After so many years, her own beloved dear Krishna has come to her. It's described Narad Muni would come and tap Krishna's shoulders and say, Krishna, you need to go to Mathura, look at your parents, Devaki, Vasudeva, they are all struggling under the atrocities of Kamsa Maharaj. And Krishna, as soon as he would say, yes, yes, I will come, then he would look into the eyes of one of his friends or one of the calves, and is described Krishna's mood. When he looks into the eyes of his friends, for him, it's only him and that friend. That's it. Everything in the world is immaterial. He forgets everything. Sometimes when a senior devotee comes, we want to get one glance of that senior devotee. Or Maharaj comes, I want some experience, because one little glance of some great exalted Vaishnava, it feels like, wow, my whole world, my whole life is so fulfilled. Krishna's mood is that when Krishna looks at someone, it's only you and Krishna, nobody else. There might be millions and billions of living entities, but that's Krishna's potency, it's his mercy. When he would look into the eyes of these Brajvasis, he would forget completely what Narada Muni said, and he would just engage in vihar with all of them. Actually, one sannyasi in our movement, when he was brahmachari, he said that when Prabhupada used to come, everybody, every devotee would think, oh, how I wish Prabhupada looks at me. And Prabhupada has one eye contact with me. You know, Chintamani Mataji gave such a wonderful class, Sunday feast class. And she would describe how when Prabhupada would look, he would look through completely. It was an experience that only the person who's looking at Prabhupada could experience. Just like that, even Ambrish Prabhu mentioned once that he was right here on East Jefferson Temple. And in his mind, he was thinking of something Vaishnava. And Prabhupada was standing right next to him. So right across Bell Isle when the temple was there. And Prabhupada looked at him and said, don't worry, these thoughts will slowly go away. And then would be so scared, Prabhupada can actually read my heart. So this sannyasi, when he was a brahmachari, just like we were all jumping during Guru Puja, Prabhupada was sitting on the Vyasasana. And all the devotees were jumping, dancing and singing Shri Guru Charana Padma. So this sannyasi, this brahmachari, he thought the only way, because later in the 70s, there would be so many disciples, Prabhupada would be covered with an entourage of his senior men. It would be difficult to get one-on-one with Prabhupada. So he thought the only way in which I can get Prabhupada's sight is by jumping very high in the kirtan. So Prabhupada sitting Vyasasana, everyone's offering flowers, and this brahmachari is jumping so high, higher than everybody else, like a basketball player. And Prabhupada is looking, and this person looking, jumping so high. And after the kirtan, Prabhupada caught him. Prabhupada said, everything okay with you? Said, yes, Prabhupada, I wanted your one glance. Even Satyavrata Muni prays, Kripa Drishti. How can I have one glance of you, my Lord? You are the creator of this whole universe. You're the maintainer, you're the destroyer. Similarly, please create the good fortune of Krishna Prema in my heart. Please protect that. Maintain that laulyata. Laulyam mulyam api kevalam. Right? Krishna bhakti rasa bhagatamati yadi udopi labhyate. Wherever we are getting Krishna bhakti, Krishna's pure association, Krishna's devotees associate him. Tatra laulyam mulyam api kevalam janma koti sukhatira bina labhyate. One should get this Krishna prema by trying to get the association of somebody who has that. Prabhu graced a house with this association a few days back, and he was describing this, and I was meditating on it. The gopis, after singing Gopi Gita, the mood in which they are singing, the mood in which I am chanting, Yoga Prabhu very beautifully describes how we are waiting for the malas to get over. But the gopis, tata gopya pragayantas pralapantascha nityada rudam suswaram rajan. Rudam, they're crying out to Krishna. Krishna Darshana Lalasa. They are Krishna Darshana Lalasa. They are getting this great desire. One time, Krishna, I want to see you. That's the Lalasa, Laulyata of these devotees. So, protecting, Krishna protecting this Krishna Prema in our heart. That is very, very fragile and destroying that which is non-conducive to devotional service. The darshan of a pure devotee can do that. So this devotee was jumping. He told Prabhupada, I'm looking for that one glance that you can glance at me. So Prabhupada's reply was amazing. Prabhupada told him, as soon as you came to ISKCON, as soon as you joined ISKCON, my merciful glance has already been cast on you. Haribol. So this is Prabhupada's mercy. Right? As soon as we come here to ISKCON, Prabhupada said ISKCON is my body. Don't leave ISKCON and we go. So Prabhupada's merciful glance is sitting right there and the glance has been cast on us. So back to that story. So Krishna would glance at his devotees in Braja and he would forget completely what Narad Muni said. And finally we know that Akrura had to come. रामेण साधं मधुरा प्रणीते श्वापल्कनमय अनुरक्त चित्ता श्वापल्कन Akrura took Krishna, and when Devaki was seeing Krishna for the first time after so many years, she wanted to embrace Krishna, but she saw that gruesome act of Krishna, his opulence, and Krishna killing Kamsa Maharaj. Soon as she saw this, Kamsa, who had the strength of thousands of elephants, was killed by her little son. Immediately, she wanted to feed Krishna, she wanted to embrace Krishna, and the hands became hands of paying obeisances to Krishna. Dasya Bhava. This is the Bhava of devotees outside of Vrindavan. However, what Bhagavatam describes is that Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya. How foolish are these people? Ittam satam, the so-called satam people who are very pious. Brahma sukhanubhutya. They are trying to relish Brahma sukha, the sukha of merging into Brahman. Naikatmatamme sprayanti kechan. A devotee never wants to become one with Brahman, with effulgence, with the Lord. Even if it means he's getting Brahmananda, a devotee rejects it. Itam satam brahma sukha anubhutya dasyam gatam paradaivatena. Even a person who is going to their paradaivata, their supreme Lord, in the mood of dasya bhav, not so relishable. What to speak of Maya Ashritanam Naradanakena? These fools in this material world running after Maya. What to speak of how they are tasting nothing in this world. Shina Sukha for little pleasure, Mahat Dukha. But what is the good fortune of Sakam Vrijam Krita Punya Punja? Sakam Vijahra Krita Punya Punja, Sakam Vijahra Krita Punya Punja. These Gopas of Krishna, these friends, they are playing with Krishna day in and day out. And they're so happy being in Krishna's association. How many millions of lifetimes of pious activities that they have done, that they are seeing this wonderful opulences of Krishna, and at the same time, they are completely unbewildered by crashing down into even Dasya Bhava. We know that in Brahma Vimohan Leela, what's happening, right? Brahmaji is coming. After he is doubting who Krishna is, he steals the cow, cowherd boys, the calves, and finally he understands it. 14th chapter, 10th canto. Brahma comes, and Brahma is now describing Krishna's glories in beautiful Brahma Stuti. As Prabhupada is describing this, Prabhupada is leaving, departing from our presence in 14th chapter. Brahma is describing such beautiful stutis. But really, what is the mood of the Gopas? What is the mood of Krishna? Brahma is describing the stutis. And Krishna is looking at Brahma. Krishna is thinking, This Brahma, he has already finished chanting Brahma Samhita. I am glorified in so many different Vaikuntha universes by all these devotees. I have come now here to Vrindavan with my dear friends to play with them. He's thinking, Prema Rasa Ninyasa Karino Aswadana, to taste this beautiful Prema Rasa with all my friends have come here to play. And now this Brahma is coming and he's again glorifying me. When will he be done with his glories and when will he leave? Krishna is thinking like this. And as he's thinking, when will Brahma leave so I can play with my friends? The friends are looking at Krishna and they're looking at Brahma. This very strange, four-headed person. Is he a Danava? We have never seen this kind of a creature before. Who is he coming? When does Krishna have time to make friends with all these creatures? They are talking to each other. What is this person saying? They're trying to listen. Brahma is glorifying. He's glorifying. And they're talking to each other. It looks like he has four heads, but not even one head is working. This boy, he's a big thief. He's a chore. He gets chastised by every gopi here. And Brahma is glorifying him. And they are being in this confused state. They don't realize this is Brahma, Swayambhu, Narada Shambhu. This Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, he is glorifying. They don't get into this Dasya Bhava. They are thinking, they're making fun. And Brahma also senses all of this. And Brahma gets a little uncomfortable and then he glorifies. Aho Bhagya, Nanda Gopa Priyam Kasau, Yadmitra Paramanandam, Purna Brahma Sanatanam, that Purna Brahma, that Sanatan Brahma, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Aho Bhagya, how fortunate are all these Brajavasis, these Gopas who are playing with Krishna day in and day out. That Supreme Lord, that wonderful Supreme Lord, who even the Devatas can hardly get a glimpse of. It's described, Shesha, Mahesha, Ganesha, Dinesha, Suresha, Chahe Nirantara Gave. These great personalities are always singing him. Chahe Anadya Khanda Cheda Bheda Subeda Ratave. These Vedas are describing as the supreme primeval, the one without a source, the source of everyone. Narada se Shuka Vyasa Rathe. From Narada Muni to Sukadev Goswami to Vyasadev, they are trying to glorify him. Tartau Puri Parana Pave. Still, they are not able to go across this ocean of material existence. Jahi, Ahira ki chochariya chachi amara chach pe nachana chave. Those gopis of Vrindavan, Krishna is asking, Maya, can I get one little half glass buttermilk? They dance for 10 minutes. Krishna has to dance for them. Then they will get that. Krishna will get that buttermilk. This is the love of the Brajavasis. That they are making Krishna dance to their tune. So first, we come to ISKCON and we dance to Krishna's tune. And then the pure devotees are those to whom Krishna dances to their tune. So that's the mood of these Brajavasis. They see so much opulence, still they're never bewildered. So as Bhagavatam is describing, that three Vedas, Traicha, Upanishadscha, the Upanishads are also glorifying Krishna. Sankhya Yogena Satvataya, Sankhya Yoga, as we know right now, that is being described by Kapila Dev to his mother Devavati. Upakiyamanam, they're being sung, the glorification of Krishna is being sung. Hari Samanyam Atmajam. Although he's being described as this greater than the greatest, amazing, supreme personality of Godhead, by whose mercy all the different planets are floating in this universe, holding all of us. That same Krishna, for these devotees, for the Brajavasis, Hari Samanyam Atmajam, he has come in this way where they think he is our Atmaja, he belongs to me, he is mine. Even though they see all these opulences described here. In the Bhakshan Leela, so we see how Krishna is displaying the universes as he's yawning as a little kid. And Yashoda thinks, is this Supreme Personality of God? He's having all the universes in his mouth? No, that can't be true. Even one sweet, I have to break it into small pieces to put it in his mouth. But I'm dreaming, I just saw. Is Indra playing some tricks on me? And she's speculating, and Krishna is thinking, Arey Baba, to go away from these jnanis, I have come to Vrindavan. Now my Maya is also becoming a jnani. Shushmita Shri Mukhena. With his beautiful smile, he smiles, and Mother Yashoda forgets everything. Oh, no, 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 he's my little Lala. Aho Bhagya, Aho Bhagya. How wonderful is this? And Sukhdev Goswami is being asked by Parikshit Maharaj, Nanda kim makarot Brahman? Shreya eva mahodaya. What did Nanda Baba do to get this? Yashoda tu Mahabhaga. Papau yastasthanam harehe. To get that Supreme Lord, to suck on her breast, to feed him milk. Huh? What great fortune did Yashoda Maya do? Neham virenchana bhavo. None of the devatas also have gotten this. No Sri Rapyanga Samshaya, not even Lakshmi Devi. That is this mercy of Brajadham. And when Krishna is eating dust, all the friends complain to Mother Yashoda. Ekada Kridamanaste Ramadya Gopadarakaha. All the Gopas headed by Rama, Balaram, they are complaining. Krishna Mridu Pakshitavan, he ate dust. Amba. Iti Matra Niveshayan, they complain to Mother Yashoda and Krishna. And Yashoda are now there. Yashoda is asking Krishna, Krishna, you go to the wrong houses and you steal the right thing. Now you come to the right house and you're eating the wrong thing. Are you a fool? This is Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna. And it's described that Krishna is now confused. He doesn't know what to do. In the previous verses, we were hearing how from Shamkishore Prabhu, how the sun and the moon are the eyes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How by his potency, all of them are floating in the different universes, in our universe, and in multiple universes. It's described that the son of the moon, Mitra, is the sun. Atri Putra, the son of Atri is the moon. The devotees paying respects to the Supreme Lord, playing Mitra Atri Putre Netraya. Oh, the Supreme Lord who is having the eyes of Mitra and Atri Putra. Trai Shatrava Shatrave, the enemy of the ones who are against the Vedas. Gotra Chaya. Gotratritre Namo Namaha. I worship that Supreme Lord who is a friend of Arjuna and who is the protector of the cows. But the sun and the moon are his eyes, and through that Krishna is seeing everything happening around us. And when Mother Yashoda is chastising Krishna, his eyes are like the sun and the moon. The Acharya has given commentary that he's looking here and there. The sun and the moon, they are being bewildered. They are saying, Mother Yashoda is looking at us and asking, Krishna, did you eat dust? I don't want to get in the way between you and your Maya. I will run away. I am supposed to be the personification of Sakshi, of telling the truth. Son is saying, but I don't want to get between you and your mother. Let me run away. You deal with your mother. And Krishna is looking here and there. Krishna is trying to swallow the dust. And Krishna is telling Mother Yashoda, Na ham pakshitavan amba. Na, Maya, amba. Oh, my mother, I did not eat this. He's saying, Amba, my mother. Internally, he's meaning that with my friends, you are trusting them. They have been with me only for a few years, 2-3 years. But you have been with me for 9 extra months. I have been in your womb and I take after you. Will I ever lie? If you don't lie, I come after you. Yeah, I belong to you. I also don't lie. Na pakshitavanamba. Sarve mithya shamsinaha. All of them are speaking lies. Yadi satya grihastehi. Samaksham pashyamet mukham. Come and look into my mouth. Expecting she will never ask him to open his mouth. And that's exactly what Maya Yashoda asks. Then she sees all these planetary systems, like how we are studying today. She sees all these planets floating in the entire cosmic manifestation. From Patala all the way to Satyaloka, all the 14 planetary systems. She sees everything in this cosmic manifestation. And she's again bewildered. And by Krishna's Yogamaya potency, she completely gets bewildered and she is chastising Krishna, saying, Krishna, I thought you ate dust, but looks like I've eaten the whole universe. And she completely forgets this and embraces Krishna. The same thing we see even here. Mother Devahuti, when she is glorifying Kapila Dev, she is telling Kapila Dev that Satyam Vrutho me Jatharena Natha Yasya Udharam Yasyasti Udharam Pashyasi. Basically, she's saying Satyam Vrutho me Jatharena Natha. In your stomach, the entire universe is present. Khatam tu yasyodharam etadashi. How is it possible that you, Kapila Devi, as a supreme personality of Godhead, have taken birth in my womb? It is actually possible. She is rationalizing. How? Vishwam Yugate Vatapatra Eka. Because at the end of the cosmic devastation, there is this banyan leaf on which you are sleeping. Shoshme Shmimaya Mrugul Andrapani. You are sucking your toe as a little Balagopal during the cosmic devastation. And you are still present there. Well, if this is possible, although you are the creator of this entire material manifestation, it is still possible that you are residing in my stomach as my little child. So, in this way, the mood of the devotees is, especially in Vrindavan Dham, is to connect whatever they see. And it's described that actually Krishna does not perform all these different killing of demons to show his opulence. Actually, Mother Yashoda is thinking, oh, will my Krishna grow up to be a strong boy? Is his digestive system good? Are his arms strong enough? I think he needs more milk. And she's again churning more milk, making it into butter. And Krishna is just proving to Mother Yashoda that, look, I can drink milk. My lips, my teeth, everything is well formed. And he's sucking the poison from Putana's breast and killing Putana. He's telling Mother Yashoda, my legs are strong. You don't have to worry. You are nourishing me well. And with one kick, Shakatasur is dead. He's saying, look, my arms are so powerful that he is killing Trinavanta. He's eating this dust, proving that, look, my digestive system is very good. Don't worry, Maya. I am in the best state. He's just trying to prove to his mother that he is a healthy baby. You don't need to take me to a pediatrician for a visit. And the Gopas, he's telling them that Agapaka Shaka Taka, all these demons I'm killing, am I not the supreme? They're saying, Hare Krishna, you have not killed any of these. Your father Nanda Baba is worshipping Shila, Shaligram Shila. Narayan is coming and he's killing all of them. And now you're going, beating your chest all over, claiming that you are killing everyone. After Kaliya Leela, what happens? Mother Yashoda is actually paying obeisances to Supreme Lord Narayan, thinking, thank you for saving my Lord, my dear son. And she has this mood of whatever happens, this is my little baby, and I need to protect the Lord. So, in that mood, the Brajvasis are reciprocating with Krishna. And Krishna, who is completely enamored by their love, he's performing beautiful pastimes. And in the previous verses, we were reading how different devotees were connecting the fear that Krishna would invoke in this whole manifestation by which everything is running, connecting that with the fear of Krishna in love. It's described in the love of the devotees of Braja. Krishna is performing so many beautiful pastimes. Kunti Maharani is seeing this pastime of Krishna being chased by Mother Yashoda and a stick, and she's praying, Gopya dadetvai kritagasidam tavat yate dasasus kaliranjana sampramaksham matram niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitasya sama vimohayati bhirapiyat vibheti. By the personification of fear, the whole cosmic manifestation is afraid by that fear entering into their heart. That fear is fearful of you, my Lord, but you being overpowered by the love of your devotees, you are running in fear of your mother, Yashoda. This is the beginning of rasa. This is actually the beginning of the most transcendental mellows. How Krishna, who is the owner of this entire manifestation, fear personified, fears Krishna, but Krishna is being fearful under the love of his devotees. Any rasa you take in the spiritual world, if you go to Madhurya Rasa, Yugal Kishore Prabhu was very beautifully sharing Champahati in Koladweep, the pastimes and the pictures. In Koladweep, we know Jaidev Goswami used to recite. There used to be a great devotee who would be reciting Satyuga, and he would worship the Lord with champak flowers, Radha Govindadev. And they became so pleased that they told him that we are so pleased by you. You will come when I appear as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will reside right here and witness my pastimes. And this devotee comes as a younger brother of Gadadhar Pandit in that place of Champahati. In that place was residing Jaidev Goswami with his wife Padmavati. And he would meditate on these beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna's Madhurya Leela. And he composed the beautiful Gita Govinda. So amazing that Mahaprabhu would have to hear for Gita Govinda from the lips of his beautiful dear devotees, Swarup Damodar. And Mahaprabhu in Antya Leela, he would go into a stream of ecstasy just by hearing this. And it's described that even Jagannath, to hear Gita Govinda, he would run out into the fields when a Devadasi would sing the Gita Govinda. And when the pujaris would see Jagannath on the altar with his clothes torn, they would tell the king and tell the head pujari in whose stream Jagannath would appear and say, this Gita Govinda is so dear to me that I would do anything for this. The topics are very esoteric. I have no qualification to read or hear or speak, but talking about fear, it's described in Gita Govinda that the beginning of this rasa of Vihar of Radha Krishna is this fear. Pratyadhyukanja dhruvam Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Yamuna Rahat Kelaya Nandani Deshatanaya. What's happening? That the forest is getting dark. The Tamil trees and the shade, which is widespread all over Vrindavan Dham, it's getting dark. And Krishna is with his friends, with the gopis, and he has to come back to his house. Nandani Deshatanaya, Nandani Gopi is telling Radharani that, oh Radharani, this Krishna is a darpok. He's afraid of the dark. Nanda Baba has told that he has to be protected and brought back home. So hold the hand of Krishna. Generally in this world, the husband protects the wife. Here, Radharani is protecting Krishna and Krishna is afraid. And as Radharani is holding Krishna's hand and they're crossing the Yamuna, they get into Bihar. And the beginning is the fear of Krishna. And later on, also in Gita Govinda, it's described this famous pastime, how Krishna is getting fearful that Radharani has rejected him. They get into a fight. Radharani enters into Man, and Krishna is coming, and he wants to appease Radharani somehow or the other in that mood, in that rasa, in that bhava. And what does he do? He is trying to do anything for Radharani. And Jaidev Goswami, as he is entering into these emotions, we know that he starts meditating on Krishna taking the lotus feet of Radharani on his head, and he thinks, no. His hand shivers, he puts his pen down and he goes to the river to take a bath, and he's thinking, how can I ever think? This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, millions of universes, countless universes, the one by whose energy the material and spiritual universes are sustaining just by a glance of Krishna, by the dint of his potency. How is this possible? And we know how Krishna himself takes on the form of Jayadev Goswami. And he comes and writes, Devi Pada Pallam Udaram, Smara Khanana Khandanam, Mama Shirasi Mandanam. Khanana Khandanam, that fire of separation from you, Radharani, that fire of wanting to be with you, Radharani, that has to be appeased by getting the dust of your lotus feet. I'm ready to do anything and everything. So this mood, this fear is in every rasa of Braja. And as these pastimes are being described by Ramananda Rai, It's said that how Mahaprabhu, he would have 1,000,000 years to want to absorb this beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna. Prabhu kahe aage kaha, suninde paye sukhe. Please tell more and more. Just by hearing all of this, I am induced in a nectar of bliss. Apurva Amrita Nadi, Vahe Tomar Mukhe, beautiful streams of river like Amrita is emanating from your mouth. He's saying, I don't know what I am saying, oh Mahaprabhu. Tumi jahan kahe shay kahi ami vani. Whatever you are trying to make me tell, I am just telling. You're playing this instrument. I am an instrument. The way your fingers will move, this instrument will sound. You are the karta. You are doing this. I am just repeating what you are saying. And Mahaprabhu is describing Ramananda Rai. He's saying that Tomara shikshaye phade, yena shuka bhatha. Sakshat Ishvara tumikhi buje tomar nata. You are the Supreme Lord. You can dance as you please. You have come to reveal that which has never been given ever before. This Ujjvala Bhakti Rasa. And you can make me dance as you want to make me dance. In this way, they're having beautiful conversations, and Mahaprabhu is entering into this bliss. And Mahaprabhu, in this great humility, he is saying that Ami Kichu I don't know anything. Ami to Mayavadi Sanyasi, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Tattva, Ami Nai Jani. I don't know what I'm speaking. Oh Ramanandra, please continue to speak. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told me to come here to Godavari to hear from you. And they have such beautiful pastimes when they're describing and going into these rasa. Like this, Mother Yashoda and Krishna's beautiful pastimes as Yashoda Damodar. I know we will hear tomorrow, because tomorrow is Diwali, the beautiful day when Damodar pastime happened. And we know how today might be the day when Mother Yashoda is churning all the butter and putting it in all those butter pots that tomorrow Damodar broke. And when he went to the storeroom, he knew which storeroom to go to. Mother Yashoda had a very special storeroom. In that storeroom, she would come and call little Krishna, and she would be very happy and very pleased. And she would tell Krishna, see that pot is your Nana's pot. This is your Tauji's. This is your Mami's. This is your Bua's. So she had some inner attachment to all these pots. That pot decorated like a peacock, that belonged to your different, of course, in English it's only auntie, uncle. But in Braj Bhasha, in India, we know that there are so many different relations, and Krishna had noticed that she is attached to these pots. So when he got angry, he could have gone to any other storeroom. But he went to that storeroom and he locked the door and he called his friends, Kakaha, Shutaha, Kapi, Agamyatam, oh come, oh Kakaha, oh Shuta, oh Kapi, oh Hanumanji, you have eaten dry leaves. And looking for Mother Sita, today I will give you such Amrita that you have never tasted before. He called Shukaha and he feeds. And Shukdev Goswami is saying, ever since I tasted that nectar from the lotus hands of Krishna, that Charnamrit, everything I've spoken has become so sweet. Sukha Mukhat Amrita Dhruva Samritam Pibata Bhagavatam Samad. And then he broke every pot and she is looking for Krishna. And she's looking for Krishna. Krishna, where are you? And she hears the sounds of these monkeys in that storeroom and she's looking through the keyhole. She says that I have been hearing that you are stealing in the houses of all the other gopis, but today you're stealing in your own house. You come out, I will teach you a lesson. And Krishna is telling, oh Kaka, Shuddha Kapi, now get out of here. You had nice bhojan. What are you looking for? Dakshina, you will get danda, my mother. And they're all running. In this way, when she finally sees those pots, every pot is broken. So the Acharyas described, it looked like Krishna had hanged all of his relatives because only the head is seen and the body has fallen down. So Krishna is uprooting attachments that are not conducive for devotional service. So when we bind Krishna with our sincerity to chant, I'm telling myself, or with the love of tying Krishna with the rope of the love that Mother Yashoda tied, then those deep-rooted desires which are non-conducive to Krishna consciousness, just like the deep-rooted trees of Nalakura and Manigriva had manifested as Yamalarjuna trees. Those bad habits, those things keeping us away from Krishna, Krishna will help uproot them so that we can actually enter into the meditation of his pastimes. So much can be said. I'm sorry it's very late. Please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong. It's a humble servant. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Yes, my dear devotees. Hare Krishna, that's all. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandat Prana. Hare Krishna. Wonderful class.